Welcome to your daily dose of truth for today, where we take the time to lean into and reconnect with Jesus Christ. On today's episode, I want to talk to you about something that every one of us has experienced at some point in our lives. That something is waiting. Waiting for an answer, waiting for a breakthrough, waiting for healing, waiting for a new opportunity, or waiting for God to move. Maybe you've been praying about something for weeks, months, or even years, and it feels like nothing is happening. You keep asking, you keep believing, you keep hoping, but the answer doesn't seem to come. Now, if we're being honest, waiting can be frustrating. Sometimes we begin to wonder if God hears us. Sometimes we wonder if we've done something wrong. And sometimes we begin to lose heart because we don't understand why God seems silent. But what if the waiting season isn't a punishment? What if God is doing something important while we wait? Now, let me give you a little example. Imagine a farmer standing in a freshly planted field. He's invested time, effort, money, and energy into preparing the soil. He's planted the seeds carefully. He's watered the ground. He's done everything he knows to do. Now imagine that a week goes by, then another week, and then another week. The field still looks empty. From the outside, it appears as though nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, something incredible is taking place. Roots are forming. The seed is breaking open. Life is developing underground where no one can see it. If the farmer becomes impatient and starts digging up the seed every few days to check on it, he may actually damage the very thing he's hoping will grow. The reality is that growth often happens long before we can see the results, and our walk with God is often the same way. There are seasons when it feels like nothing is happening, but God is still working beneath the surface. One of the most encouraging verses about waiting is found in Isaiah 40:31. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Notice that scripture doesn't say those who rush ahead of the Lord. It doesn't say those who force their own timeline. It says those who wait on the Lord. The waiting itself becomes part of the process. Think about Joseph in the Bible. God gave Joseph a dream when he was young. Yet before that dream became reality, Joseph experienced betrayal, slavery, false accusations, and imprisonment. From Joseph's perspective, it probably looked like everything was going wrong. But years later, Joseph would discover that God had been positioning him exactly where he needed to be. The promise was delayed, but it was not denied. Sometimes we assume that God's delays mean God's absence. But often, God's delays are actually preparation of our character, preparation of our faith, preparation of circumstances that we cannot yet see. The truth is that God sees the entire picture while we only see one small piece of it. So what should we do while we're waiting? Well, first, stay faithful where you are. Continue praying. Continue trusting, continue doing the next right thing. Second, stop measuring God's activity by what you can see. Some of God's greatest work happens beneath the surface. Just because you don't see movement doesn't mean God isn't moving. And third, remember what God has already done in your life. When we remember His faithfulness in the past, it becomes easier to trust Him in the present. Here's today's challenge for you. I want you to take 5 minutes sometime today and write down 3 prayers that God has already answered in your life. Maybe they weren't answered exactly the way you expected, but looking back now, you can see His hand at work. Let those reminders strengthen your faith for whatever you're waiting on today. And if you're in a season of waiting right now, don't lose heart. The field may look empty. The seed may still be underground, but God is still working perfectly. His timing is perfect. And what He has promised, He is faithful to complete and deliver. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. Until next time, remember that God's delays are not God's denials. And there's always room for you here with me, myself, and my King. Stay beautiful, stay strong, and remember to always stay in the Word. I love you. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.